Hi, everybody. I am super excited to be here today with a friend, one of my favorite girl crushes, and just an amazing, inspiring woman. She's the author of 3 books, Add More Ing to Your Life, Spirit Junkie, and her latest, May Cause Miracles. Yay! Gabrielle Bernstein. Gabby, thank you so much for being here with me and with everyone who's watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha. I love you. I love your audience. Hi, everybody.
They love you. I love you too. And super grateful to you for being here today. And I'm so excited for you. This is such a big deal. It's a big book too.
Yeah.
This is a big baby.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about freedom and ambition. Because as I've shared with you, one of my core beliefs is that the world will be set free by women who are free. And I think that for those of us who are so blessed, to be living in this time and to have access to technology and to be able to get our voices out there farther and faster and share messages. And we really are in an amazing, incredible time to be out there with our missions, on our missions, and doing our good work in the world. And I'm really interested, and I know you are too, in helping more women make a bigger impact in the world. And I just thank you for being here, because I know that this is going to make a difference. I know for me, and certainly for some of the other women who are watching today.
Yeah, yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. I think that a lot of our contemporaries are experiencing, and obviously, definitely your viewers, are experiencing that sense of urgency and that sense of I have to speak up, I have to have a voice, I'm ready to lead. And it's an exciting time because a lot of folks are rising up and really accepting that power. And it's time for us all to do that.
Totally. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I feel so fortunate to be born and living in this time. And so grateful to leaders like you who create awesome books like this and really put yourself out there continuously in the world. So one of my first questions, actually speaking to that, is that as a really, you're super ambitious, you're out there creating big things, and you've written 3 books, and you're only in your early 30s. And, we tend to have a million ideas. There are so many things that we could do. There are so many things that we want to do. So why did you choose to write this book at this time?
I often write my book based on what I feel my readers need. And I was hearing this call from a lot of people, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter or through email, and folks saying, I want to know how to get over this breakup. I want to handle my financial insecurity. I'm ready to get over my body image issues once and for all. And I've heard a really loud willingness to do great work, but people really wanted to be told what to do. And so I'm happy to say that I have the tools because I've been applying those principles to my own life for 7.5 years. And I have had tremendous successes in miracles in overcoming addictions and overcoming fear and overcoming really far out limiting beliefs that have been holding me back. And so I had been practicing these spiritual principles in my own life and really giving myself daily practices that were subtle and simple. And so I heard that call of my readers and I said, yeah, guys, I got it for you. And I'm going to create a guidebook. And what this is I think the subtitle says it all, Nisha. It's really just very clear. It's a 40-day guidebook of subtle shifts for radical change and unlimited happiness. And it's the subtle shifts that is the most important point that we have to really emphasize, because I don't think that people are prepared to change overnight. And I don't think it's possible, of course, but I think that the real concrete change that is manageable, change that sticks, is the change that happens in the subtleties.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And, both of us have overcome addictions in our life, and it's not an overnight process. The decisions can be made overnight, but...
It's not, but, things can happen in a beautiful, very timely way if you stay committed to the practice. Things can happen really quickly, but you have to stay committed and you have to stay on point. And when miracles do begin to happen in your life, you got to work harder because you got to maintain that greatness. So It's a lot of work. It's the thing that said being happy doesn't require effort. That's bullshit. It takes a lot to combat the fears of the world, and it takes a lot to perceive things from a loving perspective. But that perception is really what guides our path. And being able to have the tools to shift that perception at any given moment is really all you need to live a miraculous life. And that's what this book is. It's literally giving people moment-to-moment subtle shifts.
Beautiful. And I'm getting that the way that you made the decision to write this book was just really listening to the people who you, in your tribe, in your community, noticing what the world was ready for and saying, hey, I have got that in my tool belt and I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and psychically listening too. You can energetically feel what people need. And I felt the vibe. I felt like, okay, time has sped up. We are officially in the Aquarian age. This is when there's nothing can be hidden. Things are very, very fast. And there's a lot of fearful energy flying around. And so it was very clear energetically that people needed to be held, and they needed to have a container, and they needed a solution, and they needed it to be quick and fast and easy to relate to.
Beautiful. So speaking to the fear, since you brought that up, we'll roll with that, because one of the biggest fears that I hear really often from women is, okay, I'm taking all of the steps and, I bought this info product and I'm following this strategy and I took this course and I'm doing all of these things, but how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? I'm scared that maybe I'm not doing the right thing. And so my question for you is, as we are doing the work, how do we know that it's safe to trust that we're doing the right thing?
What a great question. I think that we have to do a lot of work of really understanding what truth feels like to us and really feeling the difference between when we're out of truth and we're out of our alignment of our true power and when we're in alignment with our true power. And that practice comes first and foremost by recognizing when we're out of it, right? So I know for myself, if I'm not dwelling in a place of truth, I feel frantic. I feel tense. I feel often that I can't breathe. And so you're saying I can describe the feeling. And when I feel as though I'm really in my truth and I'm following a path that's committed and directed, then I feel very faithful. I feel like there's absolutely no doubt. And I feel very, very powerful within and around me. And I also feel very supported. So I think it's really a matter of identifying those two feelings. And when you're in the feeling that's not connected to that power, often I stop, drop, and meditate, right? And I sit down, I still my mind. I say, what do I need to learn here? Is there a different direction to go in? And so knowing the difference between what it feels like to be in the flow versus what it feels like to be a little all over the place. And then trusting that, let your feelings guide you in the right direction.
Beautiful. I call this going with your flow.
Yeah.
So noticing what your flow is and being in your own unique flow state. Yeah. So another thing about the women that are in my audience is we naturally, because we're so ambitious and we want to make big differences in the world, we want it all and we want it now, and tend to really easily sacrifice ourselves, our self-care, our relationships. I certainly went through that myself. I went through a divorce because I was so busy working all the time that my relationship wasn't getting fed. And what I'm curious about is you've written 3 books now. You are doing speaking tours. I know you're taking off really soon to continue on your book tour. You are a busy woman. You could say, I'm busy, and it would be true. You've got a very full life and a lot going on. And I'm curious, how do you make sure that you're nourishing yourself and taking care of yourself when you're busy? And the reason I ask this is I really genuinely believe that we do have to be the change we want to see in the world. And what good is it if the vessel for the message, our bodies, are run down and ragged and we're not able to keep going? And I've seen you speak so many times and you're so vibrant. I mean, you really are an embodiment of your teachings. And I think that's what makes a powerful teacher. So the question again is, how do you make sure you're taking care of yourself with all that you have going on?
I have to show you something. It's really funny. It's like a big joke right now. It's almost like I had to make an app to remind myself to take care of myself. So I have a new app that just came out. It's called the Spirit Junkie Alarm Clock. It's called Spirit Junkie. And it's an alarm clock with daily affirmations. And I laughed my ass off when I saw today's affirmation. Today I make self-care a priority. I don't think you can really see it, but it's a little meditation me saying to myself, today I make self-care a priority. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm fucking telling myself that right now. So it's true. We have to really remind ourselves in any way that we can. And so I set that, and this is an alarm clock, so I set that affirmation as my alarm, and it went on every hour on the hour. And I would just say to myself, what am I doing in this moment to take care of myself? Because it's actually a moment-to-moment job. When you live with a miracle mindset, your life gets very big and your bucket list becomes your reality. And I know that you've experienced this, and I know that many of your viewers have experienced this, that the more you stay committed to a miracle mindset, the more radical your life becomes. But with that vastness comes responsibility, becomes a lot of people wanting things from you, and comes a lot of your attention being focused on continuing to maintain what you've created. That can be a real shit show, and it can be very, very scary, and it can be very overwhelming, and it can be detrimental to your relationships. And so the only way, to your point, to stay on top of that is to put self-care as a priority. And for me, self-care can come in a lot of forms, and a big part of it is, how do we sustain relationships with our friends when we want to go big in this kind of way. And it's not easy, but it has to be a priority. And, I'm recently engaged and I work really hard. My New Year's resolution is to focus more on my fiance. It's very, very easy for us to go in the direction of being so fulfilled and so inspired and so excited about our career that that's all we want to focus on. And it's really not all we want at the end of the day. It's wonderful to have a man that will hold space for you and believe in you, but it's really important that you make that relationship a priority. And whatever relationships are in your life. So part of self-care is like sitting down to a meal every single night with my fiance. Self-care is taking baths every day. Self-care is, last night I turned off the computer and I was like, I'm just going to watch Downton Abbey. That was self-care. Though I have a hard time falling asleep after I watch Downton Abbey every night. Self-care. Today I was very busy, but instead of, rushing back to my computer, I went to my Dr. Whitman and I let him give me a vitamin B shot, and it was like just injecting me with vitamins, because I know that I'm about to embark on something big and I can't just pull those past my body and the call that the body has to just nourish itself and be kind. In addition, I've been juicing for most of my book tour. So most of what I've been taking is Franklin shakes and juices from the square ginger snaps, and just, really maintaining a very alkaline diet. And I've been on coffee for 2.5 months now, and really putting that body is such a priority, because if I don't, I won't be the container to do the work that I do.
Yeah. Awesome. You got a little choppy there, but I think, I totally got what you were saying. And by the way, congratulations. You've been off coffee for 2.5 months.
Isn't that crazy? It's
amazing.
It's insane. I mean, I was addicted to coffee like it was a crack pipe. And it wasn't even that so much, but it was just that I couldn't go without it. And it was a deep addiction. I'm blessed to have let that go.
Well, congratulations.
And in May Cause Miracles, I talk a lot about how willingness is the most crucial step to creating change. And that was for me, I have to be really willing to let it go.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm getting is there's no one thing. I mean, you said you really prioritize having a bath every day and having dinner with your fiance every day and spending time with your girlfriends and juicing and turning off your computer and watching Downton Abbey. And I think one of the things that you're pointing to here is that you really have to be present. You're present to noticing, okay, it's time to turn off. Okay, I need to nurture this relationship. And so I love. I mean, one of the things that I love about your book is that it really just you can slow down, stop trying to do everything at once. and go day by day implementing these things. And, you know, after 40 days of implementing these subtle shifts, you start to, all of a sudden you turn around after 40 days and you realize that you have a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the goal. It was like, you know, for me, for instance, I have a daily sadhana, a daily spiritual practice, and I have to start the day with that, because that moment of beginning with spirit gives me the direction for the rest of the day. And so that's what Make Cause Miracle is giving people, is like a morning reflection every morning, an affirmation to use throughout the day, and self-reflective work to do at night. And so it just keeps them in this space of being able to really step-by-step show up and be present to the work. And that effort, that discipline, that commitment will actually help you expand and create more space and become a greater energy field to attract what you want. You know, full stop. That's
awesome. So I have one more question for you, which is, you are an entrepreneur, and I'm curious, as an entrepreneur yourself, what have you learned personally about business and life in the making of this book?
Well, I love it. You know, I perceive myself as an entrepreneurial mystic, and you know, I see. A friend of mine said that to me once. So I was like, okay, that's what I am. And I see that my career is an extension of my purpose. And this is for anybody. You don't have to be a motivational speaker and a self-help book author to be able to say this. You know, my purpose in life, whether I was a bank teller or whether I was a taxi driver or a chef, my purpose in life, my commitment would be to really be a miracle worker, to help people crack open to see things differently. And so this isn't just come up in my career, but it also comes up in just how I am as a person. And so with that intention, always first and foremost, I can trust that the universe has my back. I can trust that I will be supported. So when I put service first, then all the support that I need will be given to me. All of the guidance that I need will be given to me. The intuition will flood through me. And as long as it's not about me and it's about the greater purpose, then everything explodes. Then everything is supported. Then the abundance is available. Then, you know, Oprah is next to you, right? And that only happens when you get out of the way and you say, this is for the greater good. And I have to be really brutally honest with you, that has been the greatest lesson I've learned. Because I functioned for many years from a place of, it's about me, you know, how cool am I? Look at how many people came to my lecture. And you know what? That shit doesn't work. And I looked at my audience, Nisha, you were there, and you like on the stage, and I wanted to talk to people, and it's 550 people here. And I looked at it and said, the number is not the number. The number is about how many people are being served tonight. And
say that one thing again, because it got a little choppy, and I think that I really want to hear it.
About the number of people in the room, it's about the number to be served.
And it's never about the number of people in the room. It's about the number of people being served.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is totally not about ego. It's about giving.
I looked at that room and I was like holding back my tears because I just was like, I'm going to help these people tonight, you know, and not only me, but they're helping each other by being there, by holding space. You know, they're helping each other by being leaders and teachers and by doing this work for themselves, right? And so I could see that I was, you know, just sort of dropping that rock in the water and creating the ripple. And it was really brilliant and wonderful to see.
What a beautiful lesson. I love that. I mean, that itself is like such a huge wisdom bomb.
Wisdom bomb.
Yeah, wisdom bomb. Being of service. Being of service. So, Gabby, thank you so much. And I really, I want everybody to get your book and read it for a few reasons. One, I really believe in supporting women who are creating doing big things in the world and doing good. and who are putting themselves out there and creating something that is of service. And, you know, I would buy your book even if I had 30 other books to read in a stack, just to support you and your mission. And I totally get that if the women who read this book put the wisdom in the book into action, they themselves will be living embodiments of the message and the gift that they want to give to the world, the purpose that they want to give out into the world. So what you were saying about service is just, it's the perfect closing to our call, because my request would be that everybody get this book as an act of service to the world, really.
Wow, what a testimonial. Thank you. Yeah.
I really mean it. So I will put a link below this video. Everybody, you'll be able to see a link below this video to purchase this book. I know that there are some additions that come with the book right now.
No, Nisha, let's tell them. So I created a 3-hour course called How to Create What You Want in 2013. And it's really good. It's a really 4,000 people attended that course. So you'll feel the energy of the people that were online with us and in person, and the vibe, you know, and it was just really, really neat. So when you buy the book, you can go to the link that Nisha's going to share and just submit your receipt number, and you'll get that 3-hour course. You'll get my guided meditations. You'll get my interviews with great expert miracle workers. You'll get the audio book of May Cause Miracles, the introduction to the audio book. And you'll get a really good jump start. So let those gifts be really supportive to you and kick you off in a big way. And I just want to honor you, sister, for being such a leader and such a light and my girl crush. And so, you know, it's just really wonderful to be able to collaborate with you in these ways. And so grateful for your support. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So sweet. And I'm so grateful to you as well for all the work you're doing in the world. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have a beautiful day wherever you are, and go out in the world and create your own miracles, because they're all waiting for you. Bye.